So in this book, I did such a large chunk about relationships because relationships is one of the main areas that either gives us life and energy or it sucks our life force and energy. And understanding relational dynamics and becoming really educated in this area is a game changer. Game changer. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, that's its own whole thing, which we can totally talk about. But relationships in general, just like how to weave things with other people, how to set boundaries. So, relationships is gosh, it's such a huge topic. And this concept of contracts and unspoken contracts is the concept that anytime we're in a pattern with someone, so we could say, use friendship, for example. You have a friend, the relational pattern is you make a plan and she cancels last minute and you go, "Oh, it's fine. Sorry, like I'm feeling a little sluggish, so I'm not going to make it. Oh, it's fine." And she does that maybe 50 to 70% of the time. Maybe she's been doing this for years and you may have accepted, you know, Sandra's a flake and if she says she's coming, there's like a 50% chance or less that she's coming. So your relational contract with Sandra is that she gets to be a flake and remain in relationship with you. So whatever you're doing with other people where there's a repeated pattern over time, that becomes an unspoken contract that we're not even aware of. You're like, "I didn't sign that contract." I'm like, "Well, you kind of did every time you didn't address it and say, hey, I've noticed that there's this theme of us making plans and then something else being the priority, or maybe, you don't feel well or you don't feel like coming. I've noticed that. And I just want to let you know that when we put plans in the calendar, I hold them sacred and I say no to other things. And if I'm going to put something in my calendar with you and hold that date, I need you to either like come and make it most of the time and really hold it sacred, or I'm not going to be able to make one-on-one plans with you anymore. I would need to just invite you to group things or invite you along to something I'm doing anyway so that there's not such an impact on my evening when you don't come.
Mm,
So you would have just said, this relational contract doesn't
yep.
work for me. This is a no. Here are our options to move forward. You can either do this, which is keep the commitment, or we can do this, which is not make plans one on one, or third option, keep going in this unspoken relational contract because it doesn't bother you that much, or you're not taking it on. But like it's owning that we are enabling and a part of these agreements
Hmm.
and that we're at choice at all times in our dynamics with other people. Something is not being done to us, like when we're
We're
participating
allowing it.
on a on an ongoing way.
Yep, not necessarily just the victim. And it's so hard a lot of times for somebody to, especially as women, being the nice girls and not wanting to hurt people's feelings, is to exact our boundaries, to have our boundaries and say it in such a nice way like you did, where we're so afraid how the other person's going to react that we sacrifice ourselves in the process.